Welcome to Nerdmageddon. Hello and welcome to Nerdmageddon here on KZLX, the X1067, and on the KNWT Facebook page. I am your host, Corey Herzog. With me, I have Simon Clark.
How's it going, everybody?
Kinsey Duvall.
Hey.
And Molly Hauser.
Hello.
Yes, sorry for the late delay. We were having some technical difficulties, but
some pretty rough technical difficulties.
But it's not a day in student media without that. So we are gonna jump right into these news stories because we got the good stuff for you guys. And why don't you kick us off with the thing, Simon?
Oh yeah, I'm so excited for this because actually just over Christmas break, my family and we sat down and watched The Thing as like our Christmas movie, which is a weird thing because there's like snow in it. But anyway, that's not the point. So the Blumhouse movie studio is developing a new adaptation of the original novel that spawned the idea of The Thing. Basically, it was in 1938, the science fiction writer John W. Campbell published Who Goes There, and it was obviously based off of this shape-shifting entity from space, which spawned The Thing. So now what they're trying to do is they're trying to make that more, make this film closer to that book instead of just going off the wall, having Kurt Russell doing sick, murder shots and stuff. But it's super exciting news for me just because I love that movie. Yeah,
I bet. It looks like it'll be an interesting story, like an interesting development.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know why, but when we first talked about this, I was thinking of The Blob, like the 1950s movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because there are a lot of movies like that are just like, oh, it's The Thing or The Blob or it's like one descriptor film names, and it just doesn't help when there's 50 of them. So
yeah. I mean, my first thought was The Thing from Fantastic Four, so
a lot more terrifying than that, I'll tell you. It's pretty scary.
It's gonna be a horror film. I love horror films, so I'm all about this.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
And just kind of going off of that, things that were all about Molly, you and I.
Oh yes, I'm so excited. I have a lot of emotions about this.
Why don't you explain what you have emotions about?
Okay, so it's really funny because My Chemical Romance got reunited at I think in November or October last year. And they announced that they were doing a show in Los Angeles in December. It was my brother's it was the day before my brother's graduation from college, and I was like, what if I just went and came back and was there for that? It's fine. Everything's fine. I didn't. It's fine. But so they then announced that they were playing in Japan and Australia, and then they announced that they were going to be in the UK. And they sold out almost immediately here, for the Los Angeles show. I saw stories of people who had been waiting to get in and buy their tickets, on the site, waiting for it to open up, and they didn't even get a chance to think about it.
Yeah.
Their thought was, I'm going to get onto the website, and then it was gone. That's how fast they sold out. Apparently, they did almost the exact same thing in the UK, and then they added shows. So, they're now doing, 3 shows at their UK venue. I think it's Melvin Keane, I want to say. But so I was ranting to a friend about how not annoyed I was, but how not frustrated I was about the fact that they were adding these shows when they didn't even do that for any other venue. And then I found out that they were having this video thing at 10:35, weird time, specific time. And so I was in a class at that point, but it was the end of class. And so I got on, was ready to watch it. Found out I had a 10-minute wait till 10:45 to find out what was happening. I watched that entire video, and at the very end, US tour announcement.
I know!
I was so happy. I had literally just gotten done, like, telling a friend how frustrated I was that I was never going to be able to see them. And then it turns out they're coming to, like, St. Paul and Detroit and Chicago. They're headlining the Riot Fest in Chicago.
Yes.
And I got so excited. I immediately texted my sister, and I was just like, so, MCR's in Chicago? And she immediately was just like, do you want to go? And I was like, yes. So
you had to have done that little gremlin voice, right?
In my head, because I was surrounded by people at the time.
No, you just got to let your gremlin out every
Yeah.
once in a while. Everybody's
I mean,
just like...
Yeah, but I also felt kind of bad because I was, like, in a public space, like, watching this video, trying not to, like, visibly freak out, because it was amazing. They went through all of their albums in that video. Like, it was this kid running from, I can't remember what they were, but he went through every single, like, representation, like, a room representation of the album, like, all their albums.
Okay.
I loved it. And I was just like, this is such a great way to announce, like, a U.S. tour. And so I was sitting there having a time. I almost cried when I found out that they were doing a U.S. tour because MCR has always been a pipe dream to even have a chance to see.
Yeah.
Because I am very much so emo, I guess.
Yeah.
So Molly has had a great start to her week.
I had.
So my other Molly Gardner, our former producer, she put in a group chat that we have of all the old members, and she goes, okay, so they're going to be in St. Paul. Who's going? So I might be making a trip up to St. Paul to go see My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
It's wild. Do you think this is going to be like an official return of the band?
I really hope so. And I know a lot of people really want some new music, even if it's just like old demos from other albums and stuff. But I don't know, because they're just being really like vague about everything. Like the whole lead up to the video was just pictures or short videos, and like they really don't want you to know what they're planning, and I respect that, but at the same time I'm just kind of like, detailed plans, give it to me now.
My thing is that I don't think they're going to try and make new music just because of how busy Gerard Way has become.
Yeah.
With
Umbrella
Academy, Doom Patrol, 2 shows running at the same time, plus he's writing more comics on them. And I think he has another one that he's like a graphic novel that he's writing too.
Yeah.
So it's like he's a comic book artist now. He's a comic book writer now. So I don't know if that, I mean, he's still got the pipes. He's still got the talent. I just don't know if it's going to fit in, you know?
Yeah. And, like, I would be okay if they didn't release any new music. It's because there's a difference between, like, old demos and then, like, new music. But I think if they really want to find a way, they're going to release, like, new music, and that would be really awesome. But I also understand, like, Mikey's touring with a bunch of different artists and bands these days. Gerard's really busy, like Simon mentioned, and like they all kind of have their own lives now, which is weird to think about, but like also that's all I've ever really known of them is their own separate lives. Yeah. But it's cool that they're doing this and like taking time out of those lives to reunite for even if it's just tours.
Yeah. Because they disbanded when I think I was a freshman in high school when they disbanded. So
it was like right after The Wasteland came out.
Yeah.
So it was, for me...
It was 6 years ago, so
6 years ago?
Or 6 years ago from 2019, so it was 2013 that they disbanded.
Yeah, so I would have been in like 8th grade.
Yeah, so about freshman year of high school.
I was 7th grade, and I did not understand what any of, like, I didn't know any of them or their music, and it's a little sad.
Well, that's the prime time to get into is middle school when you're all angsty and pimply.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
I was pimply in middle school, but I was never angsty. So
Man.
I know
You're
a
lucky.
little bit.
Yeah.
I know
lucky.
a little bit about My Chemical Romance, but I don't know a whole lot. I can.
Main thing to know is everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people called them getting back together because a lot of, they did some interviews where, like, Gerard was very vocal about wanting to kind of pull a Smashing Pumpkins, who disbanded for 6 years and then came back. So everyone's just kind of like, we called it. There was like this plate in Danger Days on the car. It's really interesting to just see all the different like conspiracy theories that are now coming back up. It's kind of hilarious.
I love it.
Good times.
Yeah. And on the vein of being angsty teenagers, all that.
Can't
Chilling
relate.
Adventures of Sabrina, season 3. Here we go, guys. Oh. So, obviously, spoiler alerts up to episode 2 because that's all I'm allowed to talk about. Thanks, Kinsey.
You're welcome.
But basically, to catch you guys up from what happened last season, Nick Scratch got taken into hell. He is now a prison for the devil himself.
A vessel.
Gosh, Lilith is now the queen of hell. And the witches are having to reform their religion, like, real bad. So now we come back. Sabrina is just hell-bent, pun intended, on getting her boyfriend back. And, guys, it's a wild time. I can't even talk about some of the crazy stuff that's happened.
It's interesting. I feel bad because, like, it's a little slow, but it's not at the same time. Like, and I think it's just because, I believe it's because there's been so many times where I have had to, like, stop it because, like, my roommates haven't, like, seen it and they don't really, like, care for it. So then we'll, like, switch over to something that, like, all of us can watch together. Or, like, I have to go to class. So it's taken me, like, 3 days to watch 2 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I've been binging it just because that's who I am as a person. But I feel like it's going on a bit of a downward spiral. Like, hot take, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina kind of hitting the dead zone.
I feel, yeah, I get that because a lot of these like Netflix shows start coming out. They're like revivals of the same thing. Yeah. They do get to a point where it's just like, okay, we get it. Like, you're just doing the same thing. They may be adding to it, but it's not helping.
Well, here's my reason. They brought in time magic.
No.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, that's always bad.
No.
That's always so bad.
No.
Yes.
Dang it,
They
Corey.
bring in time magic. So
Nope.
far, they've been doing it tastefully, I guess. But I'm trying to contain any spoilers past episode 2. But basically, time magic is a thing. It's going to have a real big impact on the coven. And there are some different denominations, we'll call them, of witches that are coming back. And, like, it's almost kind of like the Spanish Inquisition, but for witches.
Oh, God.
It's like, what is the history between these denominations? So people are out for blood.
Ooh.
Okay.
I mean, the one real big thing I can say about it is that the character Beelzebub is in it, and it's just funny because there's just an old joke with my old group of friends that surrounds Beelzebub, and now every time I see the show and I hear his name, I just think back of, like, when I was in high school goofing around with my friends. And
Oh, yeah. That's how I was season 2 when they brought in the angels, because they look like they're from the Book of Mormon, the musical.
Oh.
And so my friend Connor Raby is a big fan of it, so I just send him screenshots of it and be like, it's you.
See, I've only seen up to episode 3 of season 1.
Oh. Spoiler alert.
I mean, I already knew half of this because I have a problem of spoiling things for myself.
Dude, same. Like,
But-
I actually sometimes go online to find spoilers.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
I
But
can't do that. I can't. I can't do
do it 'cause
spoilers.
I'm too curious for my own good.
See, but
I've
I'm
been doing it
curious.
with My Hero.
See, I'm curious too, but I like the experience to find out through the show. I don't want to, like, look it up.
Yeah.
No, wait, there was one show where I've done that with. I don't remember what show it was. But either way, I don't like to spoil things for myself because I like to Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have too much.
Yeah. Well, Sabrina isn't the only thing coming back, guys. Cool math.
Cool math game.
Okay, throwback
Guys.
to elementary school.
Oh, hell.
Oh,
That was
flashback.
My favorite thing is teachers were always just so okay with you like messing around on that because it's educational. Yeah, let me
Not at
play
all.
Fire Girl and Water Boy or whatever.
Other way around.
Other
Fire Boy,
way
Water
around.
Girl.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Uh,
The knockoff version of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Yeah.
It was better. It was
There were many times where I should have gotten in trouble for playing computer games during school when I should have been doing something else, but I never did. A lot of my elementary school teachers let me get away with a lot of this.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, a lot of cool math games, they are on Flash.
Yes,
And that's kind of been a problem lately.
it has.
But quite a few, according to Newsweek, have already been converted to HTML5.
Yep.
So kind of a more up-to-date coding system. So I really see a revival of this coming back. We're going to be seeing those elementary school teachers being like, okay, guys, I don't have a lesson plan, so we're just going to play cool math today.
Honestly, that sounds amazing. And I know Fireboy and Water Girl, they have an app that
Yep.
you can
What?
go play. Yeah, they have an. I had it for a while. It's
A lot of those.
little weird because like the buttons are like transparent, so it's kind of hard
Yeah.
to see them sometimes. But it's an app, so like
A lot of those like Flash computer games are now on the App Store just because it's so easy to convert a Flash game into,
An app.
iOS or Android processing.
Yeah.
So
Guys,
that might have been their answer to like, or at least like fail safe for if they couldn't get the HTML working in time.
Probably.
So.
Guys, I'm really upset. So on our school issue laptops, Flash is blocked on the page.
What?
Yes, I tried going on Cool Math Games right now because I really want to play Bloxers.
that's frustrating.
Yeah.
I know, it's so frustrating. I can't get on it, and
One day we will be able to
I did.
flash back to the past.
Flash was blocked on this page. I click
Oh.
on it. Oh, wait.
Yeah, there you go.
You gotta enable Flash.
Did you click manage?
Oh,
You gotta
guys,
click
we
manage.
might
Wait.
be witnessing a miracle here.
Oh my god.
We
Come
might
on.
be getting cool math games on Northwest laptops.
Come on.
Oh
Come
man,
on.
come on,
There
Come
you
on.
go.
Come on.
Last
Come on.
person,
Come on.
now go.
come on.
Come on. Come on.
Go
Come
back.
on.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
play
yeah.
Bloxers.
Okay, no, click on it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This again?
No, click on.
Oh, on this?
Yes.
On the, yeah.
Okay.
Done.
Or wait,
Alright.
click on it and then click run flash this time.
Yeah.
There you go.
I am not up to date with the technology.
Yeah. Oh man, that was an ordeal.
Oh man.
No!
No.
Okay.
Still not letting her.
Still not letting me play.
That's so rude.
We're gonna figure this out later.
Yeah.
We should probably figure that
Because
out.
we.
It's working.
Oh, she got
It's
working.
working.
Oh!
There you go.
Apparently later is now.
A miracle has happened. Kenzie will now be unfortunately busy, I guess.
Okay, I guess we're gonna have to find a new host on the show.
I'm on
Yeah.
level 2 now, guys.
Jeez.
We might have to send her to an Atari themed hotel because that's a thing now.
That's a thing.
Yeah, it's there's a couple different ones popping up actually. The one that I saw was in like Phoenix, Arizona. So there's that one, and it's like a group of 8 that are being put on, and they call it a hotel to eat, sleep, and play. So obviously it's got like the original Atari games on there. So they'll basically just be able to go in and hang out, rent a room. I think there's like an Atari system built into every room.
Yeah.
So it's more or less just Atari is coming back, but they're putting their money into something that hasn't been done before, which is really interesting.
Yes. So Miss Murphy, she is a spokesperson for the company that owns Atari, and basically she said that their hope is that you'll come in and never want to leave because there's just so much interaction and so much stimulus, which sounds very Lowe's Hotel and
I
Casino
was gonna
from Percy
say.
Jackson.
Yeah.
That just sounds like that. Okay.
But some hotel rooms will have a retro video game theme, and others will be a more futuristic design, according to the New York Times. And okay, I'm not a big Atari fan. Like, I was never really into it.
Sure.
But this, I would pay big money for this.
You know, I would pay money to just go there and play the worst Atari game ever made for Atari, which is E.T.
Oh,
And a lot of people who have any idea of like the video game universe or like video game rating universe, the E.T. game is known as the worst game in video game history. It's so bad.
Yeah. Oh, I remember talking about this over the summer
Yes.
with Bradley and other Molly.
Yes, it's just bad, and I mean, granted, Atari graphics were not good, but on Atari you had like Pong, you had like Space Invaders, all those good games, and then you had E.T., and that one was just atrocious.
Yeah, I would go in there and play Frogger. I don't think Frogger is Atari, but I would go in to play Frogger.
It was later on in Atari. They had it on like the 32 system, I think, or no, it would be 36. But yeah.
That's just so cool.
Yeah.
Yes. So also, another first is happening. This one a little closer to home for our Missouri-based listeners, viewers. Team Juniper from Ruby will be making their first ever full team appearance since Monty Ohm's brother took over the voice of Ren. So, a little backstory for those who aren't as obsessed with Ruby as I am. Monty Ohm, the creator of Ruby, he also voiced Ren. He's based off of Mulan. And when he passed away, his brother stepped up and took over voice acting for him. He's never made a public appearance since taking over the voice.
Jeez.
Yeah. He's been living in Japan for a while, just kind of doing his thing, being his own person. They've never had the full Team Juniper, like, people all together outside of recording. And so at Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City, all four of them will be there together. Wow. So we're going to have Miles, who plays Jean... Samantha, who plays Nora, Jen, who plays Pyrrha, and then Monty's brother, which this is a big first, and that's like Comic-Con's like big push for people to go this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's such an interesting thing just the whole idea of there just being this idea of a character. I like the fact that, you know, like not making any public appearances just because it's I guess respectful, but at the same time, this is like a massive step, and we'll probably get Ruby back in the mainstream, because I remember Ruby was like kind of popular for a little bit, and then it started to dwindle.
That's also because the fan base is toxic.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As a member of it, it is toxic.
Absolutely, I completely understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're about to get the series, like the season finale, not series finale, season finale this weekend.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Those of you who are not caught up, you need to get caught up. It's taken a wild turn. We got the Aesop's Fables in there now.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never seen Ruby, so I have no clue.
They're all based off of fairy tales and like folklore.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's like the whole premise.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
so
think I would like that a lot.
yeah, so
It's just they're animated like Hatsune Miku.
kind of the
and-
animation gets better.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay, because I remember trying to watch like the first episode because some
Yeah.
people in high school were like, "Hey, check it out," and I was just like, "This looks like a poorly rendered like SFM."
Oh yeah,
Okay.
no. Everyone
Video.
has a problem with like the animation in the first.
Yeah,
season
like
or
the fight
so.
scenes are good. The fight scenes are what make the first two seasons great.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't get over the black silhouette background characters. And in Ruby Chibi, which is like a separate series, they make fun of it.
Yeah.
But no, so like Team Ruby, RWBY, it's based off of Little Red Riding Hood, Snow White, Belle, and Goldilocks.
Neat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
That's really
they're
interesting.
all like, and then Team Juniper is based off of Joan of Arc, Thor, Achilles, and Mulan. And the thing is, all of them had to like cross-dress in their story.
Yeah.
So they're all gender-bent versions of them. So Thor is this tiny red-headed girl.
Oh my god, I love it.
She's my favorite. She is me with red hair. So
Interesting.
In a
that
pink
team just
skirt?
sounds like everyone I like. So
Yeah.
In a pink skirt?
yes,
Okay. Because I'm looking up a
yeah,
poster of it now.
yeah, and it's really interesting. If you guys haven't watched it, I might have to force you to do a geek recommendation of it.
Honestly, that will probably get me to watch it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, same.
I
here.
may as well just watch it anyway. Do I need to go through the first season? Or can I
Yes.
start with the second?
You need to go through. Honestly, you need to start with the trailers.
Okay.
Like, start from red trailer, go on, and I promise the animation gets better at season 3.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll look into it.
Yeah, I'll let you borrow my Rooster Teeth account.
Okay. Oh, is it only on Rooster Teeth?
They took it off Netflix. Red vs. Blue is on Netflix, but Ruby is not.
All right.
That's strange.
I remember growing up and watching Red versus Blue, but that's
I
for
never
another. That's
finished
for
Red
another
vs.
time.
Blue.
That's for another time.
I need to go back into it. But we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to be talking a little bit more about some childhood memories that shaped us, like cool math, and some other great things. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as always,
You nerd it here first.